don't even know what's about to happen next, but I'm already thanking God for what He's about to do.
Hey guys, it is me, your girl Sincerely Key, and we are back with another video. So, if you are new to my page, first of all, thank you for clicking on this video and deciding to kick it with little me. If you are not new and you've been here before, welcome back, baby. Welcome back. For those of you who follow me on my other social media handles, some of you do, some of you don't, I share tips of thrifting, DIYs, vlogs, lifestyle content. And I'm on those other social media handles quite frequently. So I'll be sure to link them in the bottom. I'll be sure to link them in the bottom. If you happen to like this video and you happen to pick up what I'm putting down and you want to follow me on those other pages, I'll be sure to have those so that you can follow me over there. If you don't already, make sure you get your snacks. Make sure you get comfortable. How you feeling today? We taking deep breaths. Let's get into some things. I'm coming to y'all. I'm feeling a little down. I'm gonna be quite honest, and this video really is to kind of pull myself up out of this feeling. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you, it is really hard to really be manifesting this life that you really want when you feel like you're constantly pulling yourself out of survival mode. I had a situation that happened about a week and a half ago. I can't really talk about it right now. I really would love to, and I will eventually, but right now I can't talk about it. And it just rocked my world. And it really kind of sent me, I'm feeling sad. If I'm being honest about my emotions right now, I'm sad. I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. And it's crazy because prior to that, I want to say almost a month ago, I said that I was committing to giving myself radical self-care. Shout out to Amani Hood Healer on Instagram. She talks about radical self-care all the time, but really just dedicating to just prioritizing everything that makes me better, prioritizing my health, prioritizing my mental health, prioritizing loving myself, prioritizing my peace, just everything that is dedicated to making me just a better human being. And I also told myself a month ago that while I'm doing this, that I wanted to really strengthen my relationship with God, because I feel like, on this journey of really moving into the life that I truly desire and deserve and want for myself, I know that the only way that I'm gonna make that happen is between me and God. Like, I already know that that's the only two people that, like, the only two entities that are gonna make this happen is me and God. So I really wanted to make sure I strengthen my relationship with myself and my relationship with God. And I feel like on that walk, everything's been on the up and up, and I'm really proud of the progress that I've been making. But all of this progress has been happening and everything has been going smoothly, And so I feel like it's easy to manifest when your nervous system is at peace, when you are in this state of joy, in this state of happiness. I remember talking to God one day and saying, God, I just want to be at peace in every season of my life. I just want peace in my life. I just want to be able to experience peace in every season of my life. And one thing about God, when you ask God for something, you better be real clear on what it is you're asking for. Because one thing for certain, God's going to give it to you. It may not be when you want it. It may not be when you think it's going to come, and it may not be in the way that you think it should happen, but it's going to happen. And I feel like when I said, God, I want to experience peace in every season of my life, God said, okay. we're gonna test that theory. And like I said, it's so easy to be at peace when everything you feel like is going in the right direction in your life. But it's really hard to focus in on that peace when you feel like you're standing in the midst of chaos. I feel like I'm standing in the midst of chaos right now, okay? But the test is of being in gratitude. You understand? Being in gratitude for the things that are in alignment, the things that are happening, and really knowing in my mind and in my heart that God has already told me that this is handled. Like, I need to find peace in the fact that I've been in way worse situations. I've had things happen that have knocked me off course or knocked me off balance. And by the grace of God, I still wind up here. I wind up in better situations. I wind up having better experiences. So having to remind myself that, girl, you have been knocked down before. And guess what? You dusted yourself off. You got back up and you got back in the game. What I do realize about myself now compared to a few years ago, and this is where I give myself grace, and I want to say how proud I am of myself, is that 2021, this situation could have happened, and it really could have rocked me, and I could have spiraled into this like really dark depression, because I have. And one thing about depression for me is that I don't realize I'm in depression until I'm knee deep in it. I find myself not doing the routines that I was doing. I find myself not eating the healthiest. I find myself not talking to myself the nicest. I find myself aimlessly scrolling on social media when I could be doing things to pour life into myself. And I see that, and it's like I become robotic to doing things that don't serve me, because that's what I'm used to. And then it'll be months later when I'm realizing, like, girl, you spiraling. Whereas this time, it won't even 48 hours into it of me realizing, like, oh no, babe, you're going into that place, and we're not doing that. I have gotten really good this year, shout out to my therapist, with allowing myself to feel my emotions, to experience them. I think for me, the biggest reason why I was struggling with allowing myself to experience my emotions is because I can't control what that looks like. Always wanting to control what me having these emotions looks like, and then, not wanting to come off looking weak, not wanting to be embarrassed, not wanting to be ashamed, and realizing that me allowing myself to go through the ebbs and flows of having these emotional moments allows me to release them in such a healthy way. And I struggle with that. Well, as this time, I'm now allowing myself to say, hey, two things can be true. You can be in gratitude. You can know that God is going to handle this, that God has your back. And you can also be sad about the situation. You can know that you are covered, that you are protected, and you can still be sad about what is happening right now. You can still be angry about what's happening. It does not take away from the fact that you are thankful for the things that are happening in your life, and you are thankful for the blessings that are about to come your way, but you can still be upset about this. And another thing I realized about my emotions was that because I wasn't allowing myself to experience my emotions, I was holding these emotions in. I was holding them to the chest, and I had a hard time with releasing them. I was talking to my friend recently about how one night I was doing my nighttime routine. I have this routine, and I might talk about this in another video, about how at night, right when it's time for me to get ready to wind down, I turn my phone off, I light some candles, I play Sade, maybe a little bit of Alex Isley, maybe Cleo Soul, you know, whoever's going to give me the vibe in that moment. I'll play that on my speaker, turn all the lights off. I take a shower in the dark. I get out of the shower. I come in the room. It's pitch black with a bunch of candles. And I go into this routine of, you know, really from the top of my head to the bottom of my feet, pouring into myself. In the midst of me doing this, right, like this light bulb moment came to me about how I have such a hard time releasing past experiences, releasing past memories, releasing period. And I realized because I hold on to memories, like old relationships, old experiences to the chest, because subconsciously I have this internal battle with believing that I'm capable of experiencing better. So what happens is I hold on to these good experiences to the chest, hold on to them. And I find myself, you know, reliving them in my mind or talking about them out loud. And because I don't want to let them go, because it's something that triggers me to think, hey, that survival part of me comes in and is like, hey, who knows if anything better is going to come? Who knows if you're going to have a better experience? Who knows if you're going to meet better individuals? Who knows if you're going to create better memory? Who knows if you're going to have better opportunities? And when I caught on to that, I said, wow, I have to let that go, because time has already shown me that I can experience better, that I can be introduced to better experiences. I can be introduced to better people. I can create better memories. I can be blessed with better opportunities. I've been shown that throughout the course of my life, throughout time, God has shown me that better is always around the corner when I start to release. So now, right now, in this present moment, with me being sad, with me being a little overwhelmed, I am holding on to the knowledge that Kiara Better is around the corner. I went to church 2 Sundays ago, and it's so it's so crazy that Sunday he talked about, I feel like somebody in here needs a blessing. I feel like somebody is walking into their season. I feel like somebody in here is walking into their breakthrough. I feel like your moment is about to happen right now. You need to buckle up. You need to be prepared for it, because what's going to happen is God is going to destroy everything that is happening in your life that is keeping you from the best version of yourself, that is keeping you from the life you deserve, that is keeping you stagnant, that is keeping you stale, that is keeping you from evolving, that is keeping you from going. And then bam, Monday, my world turns upside down. And you know what's crazy is when everything happened to me, I couldn't even be sad in that moment. The first thing I said was, God, is this you destroying some things? Is this what's happening? And then days went by, and then I'm like, oh, you know, I'm not gonna be upset about anything. I'm gonna trust in God, that God has this, that God is gonna make a way. But I never gave myself the grace to say, Kiara, it's okay to be sad about the changes that are happening. It is okay to be in grief of the things that you have to let go of. It's okay. It is okay to mourn the things that you are now having to let go of. I don't know who needs to hear that. It's okay to grieve your past. It is okay to mourn the things that are being destroyed to make your life better. Because we have to be realistic in the fact that sometimes that destruction does not feel good. It doesn't feel great. It feels really uncomfortable. I almost said, I'm working on not cussing. I almost said it is feeling really effing uncomfortable right now. I'm uncomfortable. But I'm allowing myself to acknowledge that I'm uncomfortable, that I'm sad, that I was not, I wasn't as prepared as I thought I was. But I'm trusting this process. I'm trusting God's promise to me. I'm trusting this faith that I hold in my hand that is the size of a mustard seed. I'm trusting that. And that's where I give myself kudos, because at one point in time, I didn't have this awareness. I didn't have that faith. I lacked that trust. I lacked the belief system that, girl, this is all going to turn around for you. I was so deep in the trenches at one point in time. And it's crazy when I sit back and think about that, because I'm like, girl, how many times has God showed up and showed out for you? How many times have you felt like you were knee deep in the dirt and God came in and wiped you off? Healed every bruise. Like, girl, you better act like you know. You better act like you know. And it, like I said, it's difficult when you are in the chaos. And I think for me, the peace that I'm learning to have in this season is that I am fully aware that God is in control, that I am surrendering to this process, that I'm surrendering. I want to be in flow, because trying to control things is so funny, because when you release this said control, you realize that you never had control in the first place. What a coinky dink. You never had control in the first place. You realize that you're just holding on to what you think control looks like, when that really is not that really is not the tea. And I'm just now in this place of surrenderance, allowing myself to experience my emotions, allowing myself to lean into trust, lean into faith. And now I'm just in this place where I'm having to acknowledge the fact that, girl, you have things to do. Learning to go with the flow of change. I wrote a journal entry, and I've never done this before. I've never shared my journal entries, because I feel like it's just so, it's so private, it's so personal. But I want to read something that I just wrote down a few hours ago, because it was like I was journaling, and I had this moment of saying, like, this is God talking to me right now. And it said, I'm not going to read the whole journal. I'm just going to read a small portion. I said, this is me learning to choose God and my relationship with self in this season that I normally feel helpless and abandoned in. God is asking me to trust him. Trust that everything is going to work out. Trust that I am covered. This is God telling me to keep going, to not give up on myself because the plans have been changed. This is God saying, Kiara, embrace the change. Rejoice in those changes. Celebrate those changes and keep going. And I wasn't completely grasping that at the time. When the plans and the course change in a way that feels uncomfortable, you don't give up. You say a prayer and ask God for direction, and you change with it. You flow with that. This year is about flow and surrenderance. That means, Kiara, you can't do what you used to do and think things are going to change. It means you are going to have to get in alignment with flow and choose you. Choose better for you. Choose love for you. Choose to keep showing up for you. Choose to pour light into you, because that, especially now, is showing you that God is asking you to choose love and choose commitment to yourself. It's showing God that despite it all, I am choosing to flow because I deserve to. And I'm trusting that that's what God wants for me. It's more in there. But in that moment, I had to remember, like, this is how you come into peace into these uncomfortable seasons, because you are having to remember to choose peace. Choose happiness. These are choices that you have the option to make. I remember hearing, as long as I have breath, I have options, right? I heard that. And it sounds good, right? You listen to that, you're like, okay. But it's like having to apply that is really what it's about. I have the choice to choose peace. I have the choice to choose joy. I have the choice to choose happiness. So if I want to shift my reality, if I want to still find peace in the midst of every season, that means I have to actively choose that. That means I have to actively work towards it. I have to have tunnel vision on that. I can't let anything outside of that deviate me from what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to reach. And that's how you find peace in every season. That's the lesson. That's the lesson. That's how you come into peace every season, remembering that it is your responsibility to choose peace. Even when peace ain't around you. You got to find that within yourself. So, with that being said, I am encouraging not just myself, but I'm encouraging you guys, whoever, is going through something, whatever your situation is, I am encouraging you, as hard as it is, as frustrating as it is, as uncomfortable as it is, to choose to find joy in the midst of your chaos. Find peace in the midst of this uncomfortable season in your life. And every day that you find yourself doing that, that is the shift. That is the change. That is you elevating. That is you evolving, because you are choosing to see the positive side of something that you could have just stayed stagnant in. Y'all, life be lifing, but we got this. We got this. I am choosing to believe that we have this. Just because God has shown us time and time again that we do. I love you guys. My prayer for you this week is that you choose your peace, you choose your happiness, you choose joy. I pray that in the midst of the storms or whatever situation you in, that the sky cracks open and shines some light on you. I love you guys. If you have a comment, leave a comment. I love to see them. Like, share, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Bye.